I made a game in 2 weeks. Time to make it better. Okay, in this devlog, I'm planning to add a few more small things into the game. And this time I'm not being sarcastic. So let's get at that. The first thing I wanted to add was a simple thing that told me what version the player was using, so I could keep track of what units were active. In the previous versions, I added something similar, but I only kept track of new players that already didn't have any player data stored, so I needed to implement a workaround for that. I eventually settled on a system that would only run the first time you loaded the game, where it would take your player name and then attach your version number at the end, and then upload that to the server with your score. It works in a way where this system will always be the same until you update your game, where it will only change the version number. I actually thought of a problem just while writing this script where if you don't choose a leaderboard name, I don't know what would happen, so I might need to fix that in the update, yeah. Okay, so the most boring part of this is done, and I can now add the fun stuff. The next thing on my Trello board is to add cars that aren't restrained by color, which is the simplest way I can put custom sprites in to work with my game. This was quite a problem to tackle, although with the way I've set this up, I think it'll be quite easy to add in a way to mod in your own custom car sprites a bit later. So why was this a bit tricky for me, and how did I end up getting it to work in the end? Well, the way I originally set up the car customization system is that I have a holder of all the sprites set up with the groups for each color of car, and all cars are set in a certain order. When you choose a car and a color, the game will first look at the color group that you've chosen, and then it'll look for the car that you've chosen from that color group. So basically, every car is set to a color, making it harder to add custom sprites. I tackled this issue by simply being built different. I added in a system that checks if you've chosen the option for a custom sprite, and if you did, it'll swap the color select options for a custom select option, and then the custom sprites are organized into their own little group that's then loaded when you choose it. Ghost car, ghost car, ghost car. I added in a ghost car. I don't really know how I made it, I just blindly followed a tutorial, but I do know how it works, so here, I'll bore you again. Every set bit of time, I think I set it to 0.2 seconds. The position, rotation, and time is recorded by the ghost car recorder, which then kindly puts that data in a little wicker basket for us until we want it again. At the end of the race, if you beat your high score, or if you don't already have any ghost data saved, it will ask the polite ghost for the data they're storing in the basket, and they'll give it back to us. They're a nice little ghost friend. And we convert it into a JSON file, which is then stored on your computer's magical storage place until we need it again. This part where the JSON file is stored was my little spin on the video tutorial, as I added that myself. Because this way you can share your data with your friends and family and enemies in the internet, and they can all verse your dead carcass. I also added in a settings page and purple cars. Version 1.1.1. In the previous version, you could view the leaderboard, but you couldn't be added to it. I fixed that. I also added in a thing where it'll notify you whenever there's an update available, so everyone can get the really cool updates that I'm talking about in these videos. This one was pretty simple to add. All I did was add support for Unity configs, and whenever you load the title screen, it checks if the game version you're running is the same as the number stored on the server. And if it's not, it enables a button prompting you to update. Using a similar system, I added in a little daily message or notification thingy to the title and level select pages, which might add more character to the game. I'm also thinking on charging like $5 to choose a daily message, but that's for later when people actually play the game. Remember earlier when I said, I actually thought of a problem just while writing this script where if you don't choose a leaderboard name, I don't know what would happen, so I might need to fix that in the update, yeah. Yeah, I fixed that. I just made it so whenever you load a level, if you don't have a player name saved, it'll generate one for you, which looks like a P followed by a random 5-digit number. This system isn't perfect, as it doesn't really check if the name is unique, it just gives you a random 5-digit number. So technically there's about a 1 in 10 billion chance that there will be 2 different P42069s on the leaderboard, if their name is randomly generated, of course. I also added in a few new cars that you can use, and that's about it for this devlog. I want to thank you all immensely for getting to the end of this video, and I would like to ask you to kindly like and subscribe, as these devlogs take me a lot of time and effort to make, and that's on top of actually making the updates for the game. Also, if you want to play it, there's a link in the description below, and it would be really cool if you gave it a rating and had a little chat in the discussion boards. I'm also open to all recommendations for changes or anything similar if you have any, so if you do, just pop them down in the comments below or in the respective areas in the game forums. And I would like to once again thank you for watching, and I hope you have a brilliant day.